it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop. Today I'm going to be showing you a bunch of different cookies that I actually made all in the same day, but I'm going to break them up into a few different videos because I know for myself I don't want to go searching through the video to find the cookie that I would like to make, so I hope you enjoy this series. Today we are going to be piping our Princess Glam Butterfly Cookie, so let's get piping.
Here I am adding my icing sugar and a couple tablespoons of meringue powder. You want to combine these before you start adding your water and make sure that your water is warm. It helps make everything super smooth. This is the type of stiff peak that we're going to be using for all of our piping icing today. We are going to be using a light pink, which is going to turn a little bit darker as you let the cookie dry. My purple edible dye is a little bit on the cooler side in tone, so I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of pink to warm it up. As most of my sugar cookie tutorials start, I am outlining my piping icing just along the border. As you can see, I'm kind of creating a leaf shape with the wings. This is going to make for a more pretty shape once you finish the whole cookie. Getting around the tip of this wing can be a little bit tricky, so whenever you're doing kind of curvy lines, you want to make sure that you're just dropping the piping icing down as you go. You're not actually digging into the icing. As you saw previously, when I mixed up the piping icing, I made sure to put a piece of clear plastic wrap over top of the bowls so that later on, when I go and make the flooding icing, I can just go back to the same bowl and I don't have to dirty another dish. To make the consistency of the flooding icing, I probably added a couple teaspoons of water to my piping icing. But again, I've said this before, I can't really tell you the exact ratios because you might like to work with something a bit looser or puffier. Really, it's all up to you and what works for you and what you can do to make sure that you're not overflowing your cookie. One thing I want to note is I am popping the air bubbles, but later on you're going to kind of see I have 1 or 2 little air bubbles right there in the upper left corner. So got to make sure that you really pop all those air bubbles so you have something super smooth. I'm using piping icing to create the body and making sure to be very generous so it's nice and puffy. Now the fun begins. So I am piping some little swirls and little curls everywhere. The most important thing about this is you do not have to follow what I am doing exactly, but whatever you do on one side of the butterfly, you have to make sure you mirror that image on the other side so that it looks even. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the right side is really easy to do, and then the left side, I actually had to stop and think about it because it can be a little bit tricky to switch your brain. If you are just starting out making cookies, I cannot say this enough. Do not try to do this slowly. Anytime I've tried to go really slow, I ended up with jagged edges. The key is to make sure that you're holding your piping bag fairly away from the cookie and just let your hand do the work and the icing will fall into place. My thought process when creating this design is I wanted to create something super feminine and fun and bright, and I just kept saying to myself, if I add more glitter, then my daughter would for sure take this cookie first off of the Easter platter. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. I upload daily at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time.